engine mounts. Couldn't think of a great title for this video, so I just decided to title it after what the video is after, which are engine mounts or motor mounts. And so today we're going to talk about Mercedes engine mounts, how to know what does what, how to determine if they've failed. So we're going to look at an old mount first. This is the 116-223-01-12 engine mount from a 1972 280 SEL 4.5 that met a very unfortunate end. The car was extremely rusty. And so what you see here is the extreme scenario where the center of the mount separates and collapses all the way down through the mount. If your motor mounts got to this position, shame on you. They should have been replaced a long time ago. But on most Mercedes, this represents a pretty good fundamental truth. On most Mercedes that have these older style mounts, think 108, 109, 111, 113, 114, 115, 113, 110 chassis cars. You know when the motor mount's bad is if suddenly this center part is a little bit below the rubber part. So not this low, this is pretty extreme, but I'm telling you at a few millimeters below. You can inspect it and see if it's below. Now, on these mounts, there's no backing plate, but on the W110, 111, 113 cars that have sort of a round mount, actually it's a very aesthetically pleasing looking engine mount. The mount center collapses and it is stopped by a metal plate underneath. And that little stopper plate is often missing on cars that have extreme motor mount collapse. Now these plates are available new, but if you have like a 113 or an early 108, like a 250S or 250 SE or 300 SEL with the M189 engine, you'd better have that plate, because if not, you will get some weird vibrations at higher speeds. Also, if your engine mounts are of the incorrect variety. Now, just because a mount looks the same doesn't mean it is the same. This is the second principle I need everybody to understand. Just because the mount looks like the part you took out doesn't mean that it is the same part. Because Mercedes had a tendency to use different hardnesses of rubber for different engines. So if you really want your engine to feel great, get the right part. So in my hand I have an NOS motor mount, a new motor mount, a 123-241-1213 made by Phoenix for a 240D. And this mount has to be used at a 240D. I mean, you can use the turbo diesel mount, which is a 3013, but it's going to vibrate more because, surprise, the 3013 mount is for the, I would say, the more gentle, better balanced turbo diesel engine. Whereas the 240D, because the four-cylinder does have more inherent vibrations and has a tendency to need stronger rubber, stiffer rubber to cushion those vibrations, especially in a car with air conditioning. Now, how do we know it's the right mount? How do we know it's a Mercedes mount? Well, there are a couple of ways. See this S designation? Only Mercedes puts an S designation on their mounts. Now, you're not going to see an S designation on one of these. You're going to see a part number stamped into it that you can cross-reference. And you're going to see some dots. And on these early mounts, there are basically two types of hardness ratings. Red dots and no red dots. Red dots are hard. No red dots, soft. So a car that would have no red dots would be something like a 230S, maybe on one side, on the driver's side. A car that would have two red dots would be something like a Pagoda, where you really want to minimize engine vibrations because you have a smaller unibody to distribute those vibrations through. But later on, Mercedes got this great idea. When they came out with these mounts, it's a really nice mount design. It's easy to install. It just is held in place with two 6mm Allen bolts. They started using these great little S designations. So here's a great example. On the 300D turbo mount, instead of seeing S4, you'll see S11. On a 116 300 SD, which unfortunately the mount is unavailable, you'll see an S1 designation. You might also see a different shape at the same S1 designation on the passenger side engine mount for a 300 SE or SEL 126. So this design was used on 123, 126, to an extent 107, early 201s, 116 series cars, I think, of all varieties. I mean, it's just a really nice design. And when they fail, if you compare the old one to the new one, you'll see that the old ones sit a lot lower because this arch has been sort of compressed out of the mount with age. Now, it doesn't mean that your mount is bad if there's a degree of compression. The best test you could come up with is checking the center of where this bolt goes. If the bolt head is flush with the hole in the frame under the car, the mount is bad. But if it's like 10 millimeters above, 15 millimeters above the hole in the frame, you're good to go. Now, how do these mounts go bad? Because these actually are more, even though they're softer and less complex of a design, they're more durable, I think, in some ways than these earlier mounts. I mean, these things are pretty durable, but sometimes you see these guys and they're like, whoa, how's this car got its original mounts at 200,000 miles? Well, here's what kills them. Not doing maintenance to keep your car running smoothly. So not adjusting valves, not cleaning the engine and getting all the grease out, allowing diesel to leak on them. So on left side motor mounts on 123 diesels, which do live in a very harsh environment. Unfortunately, the diesel mounts are going to be the shortest lived mounts of them all. But any diesel on rubber is going to eat up the rubber. It's just going to eat it up. So that's usually how it goes. But there's another component too that a lot of people forget about. And on the diesels, particularly the 220D, the 240D, 300, and the 123 and 115 240D, they made different types of third mounts. The third mount, I don't have one with me, otherwise known as the T mount, goes at the very front of the engine on a 220D. And then on a 115 series 240D, I think they replaced it with a shock absorber. I don't think it's still there anymore. I think only the 220D had the T mount at the front of the engine. Then on the 123, they brought it back and bolted it at the center of the oil pan and to the center cross member. And what that does is it limits the amount of movement that the engine can make by putting a rubber stopper inside a metal bracket, a heavy metal bracket that is bolted firmly to the oil pan. So the engine can only, instead of being able to go left and right, this thing sort of keeps it from going forward, aft, left and right. So if you have a 240D and you wonder where that extra vibration is coming from, you need to check that mount. On almost every 240D that leaves the shop, we put a mount on. And it's a cheap part too. Even Febby made them for like 12 bucks. So, engine mounts it's very important to go into EPC, check your engine mounts. Real good Mercedes engine mounts, whether they're for a 107 or a 123 diesel or a 126 gas or diesel car, are expensive. You can't, I know the last question you guys are going to ask me is, can I use a Limforder mount or a Euro Parts mount or a Febby mount or a Melee mount? So the answer is, yeah, nobody's stopping you, but you're not going to get the same control of vibration, especially at idle, that you're going to get with a genuine Mercedes mount. You're also not going to get the same longevity at all. All of the Euro parts and Limforder mounts and all this like aftermarket junk that people just buy to keep their car going, or that people put on cars and they're trying to save a buck when they're sorting them out to sell them, they last about 6 months. 6 months, and most shops will buy these mounts for like 30 bucks and then mark them up to Mercedes list price, so they'll really stick it to you. It's really crazy. We don't install, unless we have absolutely no choice, we either install new mounts for Mercedes or NOS mounts. I have been known to scour the corners of the earth looking for NOS mounts for W116 cars because they're not available. ditto with mounts for early SLs and SLCs. I think the early 450 SL mounts you could get, but SLCs had different engine mounts because of the size of the body of the car. They were able to go with a slightly softer mount, I guess. I don't know. But my point is this. Don't let your mechanic bill you for expensive engine mounts when they're putting cheap engine mounts on. Any mount that is not a Mercedes mount is JUNK. That's all you need to know. That's it. Okay, so I hope you guys got something useful out of this video. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. We'll probably do a video on engine shock absorbers at some point in time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this, and please come back again in the future. And if you haven't subscribed already, please add your name to the list of 50,600 people who really value honest, transparent information to keep their classic Mercedes going. We'll see you in the future, and if your engine is rattling a lot at idle, it's probably time to take a look at these guys. See you in the future.